Welcome to the Trail Chasers, finally. And as I said to you, I definitely want to have a full in-studio interview where we deep dive into your whole career and everything. So I'm very excited for that soon. But yeah, I really want to just chat about UTCT and your kind of history with the event.
I was injured, and I can't actually remember. I think 2013, 2012, 2013, I was quite injured with a hip injury, and I couldn't really run fast, but I could just run. And I found that I enjoyed the idea of running ultras because I didn't need to work on my speed. I could just run, and it was easy to train for, and I could to do quite well in that in just running. And that's how I ran my first comrades, just doing that, and loved that. And that's how I got more into the ultra scene. And I think after my first comrades, I think we were doing 4 hills for Lindsay or a long run with Stuart McConaughey. And he said to me, Kerry, come and run Ultra Trail Cape Town. And that's when I ran my first 100K as part of that race. And I've never looked back. And I love it.
And that first experience at Ultra Trail Cape Town, how was that for you?
Oh man, it was so special. I have really good memories from that day. It was still new, so it wasn't as big as it is now. So there weren't, I think there might have been one or two internationals, I can't remember, but it wasn't like it is today. And the vibe was awesome. I think the route has changed a fair bit now, but yeah, I loved it. It was such a race. It had so much support. My family were all part of it. I won that year, which was also very special. And,
You're the first winner. No
yeah,
one can
so
take that away from you.
no one can take that away.
How do you reflect on the growth of UTCT since that first one?
Wow, it's happened quite quickly. I think
Mm,
and it's not surprising that it's grown how it has. Stuart and Nick and Sue, they've had such a vision for Ultra Trail Cape Town. And I think there's so much heart in the race. Like it's not just a
mm,
race. I think it feels like the whole of Cape Town is involved. It's so easy to be drawn to that. I think the way they've also been able to show it to the world, I think has been huge, and people can just see the beauty that this race has to offer, and Cape Town being such a beautiful place, as well as South Africa. So you can come here and spend so much time here and then travel the country. So I think, yeah, so it's been, and also just the route changes, and people also always want to come back and try something different. And the different race options, the distances, I think has allowed more people to be involved. And also
mm.
just the actual volunteers. And I think
Yeah,
when people volunteer, you're like, oh my word, that was amazing. So next year they're all saying it. It's a
yeah,
wonderful way to get involved and to be part of it. So
yeah.
I think it's going to keep growing.
I have no doubt that will. And obviously, as you were saying, there are a lot of different distances, but they're all known for being quite challenging. What are the biggest challenges you face with UTCT?
I think the weather, it can change pretty
Mm,
quickly depending which distance you're doing. I think for the 100 mile or the 100K being at the top, it can, and actually the 55, and the 35, the weather can actually play a role in how difficult the race will
mm,
be. And also the actual technical terrain. It's hard,
yeah.
especially if you're not used to it. And even when you're used to it, it's hard. It's being able to, I think those are probably, and also it's the climbing, it's not runnable climbs. Some of them are, but it's hard. It's getting the pacing right. It's trying to avoid cramping because you're jumping a lot, you're moving, your body changing position, landing differently all the time, which is also a blessing because it's less likely to get a specific injury like an ITB
Mhm.
or one of those because you are moving and using your body so differently. But also parts of the body like the stabilizers, they can take strains. So it's trying to avoid the cramping, making sure you hydrate well. Yeah, so I would say the weather and the terrain.
Are there any specific moments or highlights that stand out for you from the last 10 years?
There's so many. I think one of my real special moments was when I was running the 100 mile and coming into the orphan aid station. That was super special. I think just seeing a lot
Yeah,
of people I knew there felt like all my friends were in one place,
yeah. I
which
love
made me
that.
feel really special. That's a real big highlight. And another one was when I actually started the 100 mile, and I was actually up on top of Table Mountain, and the weather was really bad. The wind was so strong. And I remember someone, and I don't know, can't remember I didn't know who the person was, but he
Mhm.
just said to me, just settle in. And those words have actually they've stayed with me forever. With all my
I love it.
races, I use those words. They mean a lot. They
Yeah,
meant a lot for me in the race and got me through. And
yeah.
yeah, there's so many other highlights. I think sunset, I've seen sunsets, I've seen sunrises. There are too many. It's all very special. Mhm.
How does it feel to represent South Africa in what's now become like a global race? Is there like an added pressure or an added something on top of it?
Being a local is super cool because people know
Mm.
you, they cheer you on. I think that really gives you so much energy. Like you feel like a hero.
Yeah.
Even if you're having a bad day, they really lift your spirits, they push you on. And I think a lot of it, having my family close by, like they're
Mm.
part of the race, they like second me. My children, they tend to be at that aid station as well. And I don't know, like I do a lot of it, I want to do it for them. I love them to be part of it and see what I'm doing and see why
Mm.
Mama trains so much. And that the support and the community, oh, it's another level. You feel like a superhero. You feel like you're winning the race, even if you're
Yeah.
not. It's
I
amazing.
love
And
it.
I don't think it's a pressure. It's an advantage.
How does it feel to have some of the top runners in the world come all the way to Cape Town to run this race?
Amazing. I remember when Devin Yanko was here, and then the yellow runner, Sally. My goodness, it was just pinch me moments. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then when Lucy ran it, I remember when Lucy Bartholomew was here, I wasn't running that
Yeah.
year, and I was so stoked because I could watch her. And so it's amazing, and it's so cool to see so many more internationals keep coming and keep supporting the race and being part of it. And it
Mm.
also makes everyone, it's better for racing. Like you push
Yeah.
yourself harder. It's so great to see yourself against the best in the world. Because yeah, and it's so lovely, and I find it very inspiring, and I really
Yeah.
enjoy that. And it's also great for South Africa, Cape Town.
And mentally, when you have those kind of low moments, how do you deal with that in a race like UTCT, which kind of, it's not getting any easier. Those low moments, it's going to be tough.
Sure, I've had many of those.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think you've got to know your reason. You've got to have your
Mm.
reason. I think you got to, for me, I vision it before the race. Like it's going to be
Yeah.
hard. What happens if I hurt myself? What happens if I just don't feel well? And I think if you have that in place, and also for me, if I have my reason for why I'm doing it, I'm good. That will
Mm.
get me through the low. And also knowing that the lows are only short-lived most of the
Mm.
time. And then you should get through that, and then that, I always think the high will come. You get through
Mm.
and get to an aid station, and I think it's you do it in bite-sized pieces. If you're in a low, you mustn't think about the end. You must think about the
Yeah.
next aid station or the
Yeah.
next, I don't know, next descent, anything.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
for me, I think a lot about it's the sacrifices and my children.
Yeah.
And if knowing that, it keeps me going.
Finally, what does that kind of that finish line of UTCT feel like? Whether you're winning or you're not winning, what is that kind of for you?
Oh, wow. Oh man, it's the coming home. Nothing better. You land, you get onto the come down all the way down from the Contra. It's all downhill. And then you cross the bridge
And
and you're onto the Char and then into the Gardens Rugby Club Stadium. That grass. It's like butter. It feels so good. The guys on the mic, it's just so welcoming. And that you feel like and like you say, it doesn't matter where you're positioned, you feel like a hero. If you're first, you last, they make you feel so like this hero, like this absolute superhero. And yeah, so I get goosebumps thinking about it. And when you're at the top, on the contrary, you can hear them. So you're really like just buzzing with excitement.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool feeling.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That was amazing. After this chaos of UTCT, let's make a proper plan to do a proper interview. I'll chat to you soon. Hey,
Bye.
bye.